So here's Bill. Body position looking good. I'm smooth in the water. Head is not coming out at all when you turn to breathe. Reach is pretty good. So your extension, and I remember we talked about this, it could be slightly better. You know, it's a matter of flexibility, just getting that gap in between your shoulder and your ear closed down when you're reaching for. But you're doing good to very good. So it's a matter of degrees on that. You can still see a little bit of the ankle inflexibility in your kick. See how your feet are sort of pointed down when you're kicking. You know, if you can work on that, having the foot a little flatter in the water when you're kicking can help. But there's only so much you can do with, you know, coming from a lot of running background. Your timing is very good. If you're comfortable with this timing, that's fine. Your recovery is quick, which is good. A lot of people have a lazy recovery. If anything, what I was seeing there was on a lot of the strokes, you're not pushing as far as you could through the stroke. So the finish of the stroke, you could push a little more. Here, very streamlined, smooth breathing, not rocking up and down or anything. Maybe a little more side-to-side rotation. Right, so some of that or all of that would be accomplished by reaching forward as well as you can. Here, perfect. With regard to hand placing and the line that you're pulling back, that's like picture perfect. So the only improvement I would say there is the total extension. Underwater, your stroke is good. It's in between the high elbow catch and straight arm style. So I think your left arm was doing more of a high elbow catch, and your right arm was maybe slightly less so. I'm going to watch it again here. They're roughly the same. You know, the freeze frames were maybe lopsided on one side, but basically you're into the high elbow catch range. You can do a better high elbow catch, but it's a matter of degrees. So whatever you've been doing, keep working on it. You know, a lot of the one arm drill, the doggy paddle, all that stuff really helps. I don't see any elbow slippage, so that is good. So, you know, most of the energy you're putting into the stroke is propelling you forward a little bit, maybe, you know, the downward push of a straight arm at the very beginning. Yeah, but good. Technically, it gets a little better, but not a ton. And then here, very good. You know, your hand starts in front of your shoulder, and it pulls mostly a straight line back.
Working on a little bit of a glide when you turn to breathe, so that we can improve the catch on that stroke. There you go. That was good. Good. All right, so you're able to do it. That's excellent. So the next one would be trying to do a little more glide and thinking about the catch. But you're doing pretty good here, so I think this is probably worth practicing from a 10-mile swimming perspective. So this is doing like a modification of the skate drill that Bill had worked on before. So I guess that is a total immersion concept. So what he's doing here is doing just a bit of gliding and then thinking about a full push through on the stroke. The finish of the stroke was something that we wanted to work on. So that's a good drill to do as well. So this is back to just a slight pause on the breath. Doing the best catch you can with everything. Doing a pretty good push through here as well, so that you can see the difference in the stroke when you get a full push. You know, the catch is a pull, but the push is important as well. Really good. So this one, just switching focus to you know, really good push through. Trying to maintain hand pressure. I suppose it would be positive hand pressure. Alright, so if you are swimming along and you don't feel pressure on your hand, and this is for anybody else watching the video as well, then something's not going right. You know, your hand should be experiencing pressure the entire way of the stroke. That's why if you do like an S-pull or any of that under your body stuff, you probably lose feeling or lose contact with the water. You don't lose contact, you lose feeling on it. And that means you're not pushing yourself forward. So that was one arm drill so you could see it. Yeah, you get a pretty good catch going on here. We were talking that you felt like you may not be squaring off or rotating all the way back to forward. So that is important with one arm drill. You know, you want to get the closest to you can to what you can with your regular stroke on the drill, at least from my perspective. There would be a benefit of like a training work benefit to just kind of scooping along on your side. You could, in theory, make your lats stronger doing something like that, but you'd be doing less than your best with that technical form of the stroke. If that makes sense. It'd be like doing, you know, one-arm pull-ups. That probably has a slight benefit for open water swimming, but it's not specific to what you're trying to do for the most part. This is good, yeah, good catch with both of them.
Alright, so, you know, I picked these just because they were the best straight-on side shot of the stroke. So, right arm, you can see, you know, the hand and forearm already starting to take a little bit of a different angle. In this frame, it's a straight arm, but here now you're getting the high elbow catch, and it's a good follow through on the push. Like I mentioned earlier, you probably have a little room for pushing through a bit further on the finish. You know, see how your hand is turned towards your body right there. So you're done pushing at that point. Left arm. A bit more rotation to the side. You know, extension is good, could be slightly better. But flexibility through the lat and back is what's gonna make that happen. Starting with like a straight arm pull here. So upper arm, forearm, same line. And then here you start to get more of the high elbow angle. So if you can initiate that high elbow angle a little earlier on that left side, that's going to make a difference. So I mean, these differences are minor, but all the, you know, minor differences add up, like we've talked about. Hand position here, good, you're pushing through the whole way. But the last frame coming up, maybe hand turning in a bit, so you can push a bit more there. Hope that helps.